What's up, everybody? We're back for another weekend of fun with the vet. We got everything pretty much done that we could until we ran out of parts. So we didn't have the throwout bearing. We couldn't put the transmission back in the car. So unfortunately, that kind of delayed us a week. But luckily enough, my friend Brett, props out to Brett, he let me use this amazing shop filled with all these cool toys that you see behind me, especially these over here. So a really big thanks out to him, and luckily enough he didn't have any projects going on, so we were able to leave the vet on the lift for a week until I got back here in town to continue my path of righteousness. So a couple parts that I got, and I went over while I decided to add to the build a little bit. One, props out to Rob Pitts from Rabbit's Used Cars. I got in touch with him, and he told me a good place to get a throwout bearing. So I looked all over, and I was able to find this place, and it was kind of difficult to source this part. So I ended up finding it. This is that unique one. This one has like a spring that holds it in the pressure plate. I've never seen that before. So luckily enough, he's a Corvette guy, and he knows all about them, and he knows this town inside and out, and he knew exactly where to go to get them. So thanks a lot. The other thing that I added to the build kind of while I was in there, I went ahead and just ordered 2 universal joints for the drive shaft. I mean, while we're in there, 120,000 miles on the car, might as well change it out so that we have a nice smooth drive line. We don't have to worry about anything. Whoever buys the car won't have to worry about anything. And then I know that it's done right, and they get a good car. So that I decided to buy. These were like $22 each, so easy switch. And again, while you have this car this far apart, you might as well change these little tiny things that are cheap, inexpensive parts to swap out. The other thing I bought was a clutch alignment tool. I found this at the auto parts store. So this will really help when we're putting the clutch back together so that we can get the transmission right in. It should slide in nice and smooth and create us a lot less headache. So I won't have to bang my head against the wall. And again, while we're building these cars, and we just come across problems. It's easy to make mistakes. I was installing this shock in the rear, and I stripped the top somehow. So I will chalk it up to it was my fault. And so I just had to bite the bullet, and I had to order another one. I tried to find this at the auto parts store last weekend while I was here, and I just couldn't find this exact shock. So when I went back to Georgia, I ordered one, and it came in. So got the part in. It's ready to be installed. We should be able to do that and get it going. A couple of the other parts that I actually got that were wrong was the rear main seal. I actually put it in. It slided in perfectly. And I was just about to reinstall the flywheel and everything, and I noticed that something's not right. So I took a good look at it again, a second look, and I noticed it's not even touching the crankshaft. So it was not sealing it completely. That just means oil is going to fly all out of it. And if you reassemble the whole car, you're going to want to shoot yourself in the foot and the head and maybe the heart when you're done. So anyways, I went to the parts store and bought another one, the correct one. And I'll have to fight with sending the other parts back. But anyways, that was just an easy thing. Luckily, I was lucky enough to find it at the parts store, so I just threw it on there, and now we're ready to go. Also bought some Loctite. This is another good thing. This is just my personal preference. I like to put them on like the flywheel bolts and stuff like that, just so I'm sure that they don't come out while you're driving, because it can be catastrophic. So don't want anything to happen. Want to make sure that everything's locked in there tight. So now, the only other thing we have left to do is reassemble it. The only other thing that I found, I had a weird rattle in this car. I couldn't quite figure out where it was coming from. I thought it's something loose under there that's maybe vibrating or something. Well, when we were looking at the cats, it looks to me as somebody has punched the cats out, which is good for performance. But in this case, they left half of it inside of the cat. So there's a big chunk in there just like floating around. So I'm pretty sure that was our vibration thing. And if I wouldn't have taken this all apart, I would have never found that. So that's a very difficult sound to find, and that probably would have drove you nuts. So luckily enough, we figured out what it is, and we got the big piece out that was rattling around. So hopefully that solves our vibration problem. Well, stay tuned while we reassemble the car, and hopefully we get it rolling this weekend and out to Georgia. There's a Caffeine and Octane show out there, so I'm hoping to hit that next weekend and see all you guys out there. And as always, thanks for watching. All right, welcome back. This is day 2 of the second weekend. I was really hoping that I could get the transmission put in, but I ran into a major snag. Now, last week, I didn't have the right throwout bearing, so that hindered us until this week. This week, I got the new part in. I did check that it is the right part, but unfortunately, this part is defective. So this one here, it spins free and it has this disc that's pretty close to this, this little housing. And my new one, unfortunately, it is rubbing. If you hear that, that is not going to work. So unfortunately, because this one's defective, I have to wait another week. So I got in touch with the manufacturer, and they will send me a new one. So again, I still have to give props out to Rob Pitts for helping me out and help me locate a place that even had this, where you can buy this individually. You can buy the whole kit, but you know, $300-400 and the clutch is like 9 months old. So there's no real reason to replace that. So I just wanted to get a good throwout bearing, put it in there, and I think we should be good to go. Now, unfortunately, when I did take this car apart, I did notice that there was like a couple actual bolts missing from the oil pan. So that's one reason that it's actually dripping a little oil. So I had to go find some nuts from the auto parts store, put those on, and now we're good to go. We'll put the rear main seal is in. We did change the pilot bearing. The best advice I can give you about this is to go to the auto parts store and rent a bearing puller with the slide hammer. It took a little bit of finesse, but it came out with ease. And the new one went in pretty good. I used a socket to kind of bang it in place, and now she's good to go. So because we're kind of hindered on what we can really do again this weekend, we will change some other stuff that you know, we were going to do later on in time. So far we've been working on the stereo upgrade, and we got it mounted in there. We're just working on bypassing the tuner right now. So I'll keep you up to date on what's going on with that and how that came out for those of you that are having problems with the Bose system. So on top of that, I have been changing these door seals. I changed one already. I'm going to put the door panel back on, and then on the driver's side, I will show you how to change this, because this is not the easiest thing to change, but you do need to take the door panel apart. And when you are putting these in, you need to make sure these clips go in the hole, all of them, so that you can seat it in place. Once you get it in place, it does not come out very easy without bending this. There's actually a metal strip in this that keeps it formed in this position. So I'll show you how we put that together. That way, if any of you guys have any questions, you can hopefully use this material to help you out. So we'll do that, and then we'll have to wait till next weekend. And hopefully next weekend we're rolling. I really hope to go to some car shows next weekend, but not sure if it's going to happen. And then we have our huge main event. When we're all done with the car, we're going to do something special. I think you guys are going to like it, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. That's the biggest way you can support us. We really do appreciate all our fans and all our family and all our friends that have helped us out. Brett has helped me out here big time, let me use this amazing shop. And luckily, I haven't screwed him up too much for having the car stuck on the lift for 3 weeks. This is why people don't let you use their lifts, by the way. So luckily enough, he doesn't have too many projects going on, and it's not hindering him. So I appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys out there, and also all the YouTubers that have helped me out in getting this project going. So thanks again. And thanks for watching. Now it's in recording mode. I don't know what the hell happened. Yo. What is going on? All right, let's try it again. Let me just make sure. Oh yeah, we'll talk about cat too. Props out to my